A very good afternoon. It's the 13th of February 2023. Welcome to the Lunchtime News here on TV1. For the News First team, where the people come first, I'm Srilankanbeauty. Before we take a look at the stories that we've got for you this afternoon in detail, let's take a look at the headlines.
Railway drivers' trade union action continues. Over 10 train operations cancelled. Professionals Trade Union Collective to meet to discuss the government's tax policy. 37,000 postal vote applications for the local government election rejected. Constitutional Council meets to discuss appointments to independent commissions. Criticism from the All Ceylon Agrarian Federation on the government's decision to purchase paddy for 100 rupees.
On to your top stories this afternoon. A group of railway drivers have launched a trade union action, and Sri Lanka Railways announced that over 10 train operations were cancelled on Monday.
The railway drivers launched a trade union action to oppose the disciplinary action taken against a group of railway workers. Indika Dodangota, the convener of the Trade Union Alliance to Uplift Sri Lanka Railways, confirmed the trade union action. Railway passengers were severely inconvenienced by the strike. Several trains operating from the Fort Railway Station in Colombo were cancelled on Monday morning. This was the situation along the coastal railway line. Newsfirst correspondent said that several trains operating along the coastal line were delayed by almost an hour. Multiple other services were cancelled. The railway drivers launched a trade union action to oppose the disciplinary action taken against a group of railway workers. Indika Dodangota, the convener.
The Trade Union Alliance to Uplift Sri Lanka Railways convened a media briefing to comment on the strike.
The reason for the railway drivers at the Dematagoda hydraulic locomotive shed to start a trade union action is the behaviour of a district inspector machine officer. The railway drivers are disappointed about his behaviour. Railway management is of the stance that the particular officer is not at fault. The management believes a disciplinary inquiry must take place for the drivers and who engage in the trade union action and ensure justice for them as well. The railway drivers who are engaged in their work amidst many difficulties are opposing this as they are imposing many conditions. The issue is the constant supervision of reporting to work and leaving. Meanwhile, a protest took place opposite the Education Ministry in Bathramulla on Monday morning against the failure to recruit academic graduates to the teacher service.
A protest was organized by the Academic Graduates Collective and the Ceylon Teachers Service Union. The relevant provincial council has intervened to provide posting to the academic graduates in their provinces who pass the teachers' examination. However, those in the Western, North, Central and Eastern provinces have not received their posting despite passing the 2020-21 examinations. The provincial council said that they have the vacant slots and the funding, however, they require the approval of the higher-ups. We pass out with the knowledge required for the teachers. On the 27th of January, a recommendation was made to provide postings to the academic graduates. However, 2 days later, they said it was a mistake and withdrew their recommendations.
නමුත් දවස් දෙකක් වගේ ගත වෙනකොට රාජ්‍ය සේවා කොමිසමෙන් කියනවා ඒගොල්ලන්ට ඒක අත්පැරදීමකින් උනේ කියලා අධ්‍යාපනවේදී උපාධිධාරීන්ට පත්වීම දෙන්න කියපු ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ නිර්දේශය ඒගොල්ලෝ අකුල ගන්නවා.
The Professionals Trade Union Collective will convene today to discuss the future course of action against the government's new tax regime. 40 trade unions, including the Government Medical Officers Association, Federation of University Teachers Association, Federation of Medical Faculty Teachers Union, CEB Engineers Union and the Ceylon Bank Employees Union will attend the meeting.
When
making decisions regarding its unjust tax policies, the government constantly said they cannot amend this. But the government itself has showed that the tax policy can be changed through amendments to the non-cash benefits, particularly the amendments made by rulers for themselves. Against this backdrop, the Professionals Trade Union Collective, along with all trade unions, will convene at the Government Medical Officers Association today. Meanwhile, the Court of Appeal said that the decision on the petition filed to invalidate the Cabinet decision to amend electricity tariffs with effect from the 1st of January will be announced on the 17th of February.
The Court of Appeal also noted that orders on the interim orders sought by the petition will be announced on that day. The applications were filed by the Electricity Users Union, the Centre of Environmental Justice and other parties. The matter was taken up in the presence of Justices Sobhita Rajakarna and Dhammika Ganepula.
පෙස්සම් කරවන් කියා සිටියේ කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලයේ විසින් ගෙන ඇති විශේෂයෙන් ජනවාරි 1 වෙනිදා සිට බලාත්මක වන පරිදි සිදු කිරීමට නියමිත විදුලි බිල වැඩිවීම නීති විරෝධී බවට තීන්දුව කර බලරහිත.
The petitioners noted that the cabinet decision to amend the tariff with effect from the 1st of January should be termed as illegal and be invalidated. In addition, the petitioners sought a ruling that the cabinet being allowed to decide on electricity tariff is also illegal. When the case was called up, several documents were filed by the government and cabinet. The order will be delivered on the 17th of February.
ඊට අමතරව අධිකරණයේ තවදුරටත් නියෝග කළා සියලුම පාර්ශ්වයන්ට අද දින සිනොප්සිස් එකක් එහෙම නැත්නම් ලිඛිත දේශනයක් ගොනු කරන ලෙසට ඒ ගොනු කිරීමෙන් අනතුරුව මේ සිකුරාදා නම් පෙබරවාරි මාස 17 වෙනි දින මෙම නඩුවේ නියෝගය ප්‍රකාශ කිරීමටත් අද අභියාචනාධිකරණය තීන්දුව කරා.
Sri Lanka's election headquarters.
The National Election Commission said that around 30,000 applications for postal voting for the upcoming local government election were rejected. The NEC said a majority of the applicants had submitted incomplete applications.
It added that approximately 675,000 applications were submitted for postal voting for the 2023 local government election. The secure packages containing the postal vote ballot papers will be handed over to the Department of Posts on the 15th of February, and the official ballot papers for the election will be handed over on the 19th of February. Approximately 200,000 state employees will be assigned to election duty. Postal voting for the 2023 local government election will take place on the 22nd, 23rd and 24th of February.
Let's now take a look at some of the views expressed in the political arena regarding the local government election.
ආණ්ඩුව මුල ඉඳලම මේ ඡන්දේ වළක්වන්න බාල්දි පෙරළුවා. බාල්දි පිට බාල්දි පෙරළුවා. ඒක බාල්දියක්වත් හරි ගියේ නැහැ.
From the beginning, the government tried to postpone the election. None of their attempts succeeded. The people must not be afraid of false rumors. It is the government that is trying to create uncertainty and take away their right to vote. No matter what the government does, it cannot stop this election from taking place.
හකුලන්න බෑ, පස්සට දාන්න බෑ.
As a government, if we are to stop this local government election from taking place, we would have done it earlier through different means. The President could have done that, but the President and the UNP do not want to stop elections from taking place. As a UNP, we are ready for the election at any time. Our stance is that the election must take place on the 9th of March. Take a look at the past 75 years. You will be able to understand the reasons for the downfall. Today we are not trying to find who is guilty. It is clear who is guilty. How do we come out of this crisis? Can we rebuild this country by pointing fingers at history? We must come out of family politics if we are to come out of this crisis. Today everyone is expecting a change. It is the chance of everyone to hold a national level election. They are saying those who are responsible for it cannot remain in power. But we can see Ranil Wickremesinghe not allowing that to happen. Therefore, we must push this country towards a new era where we can move on with the world, gain the trust of the international community and bring investors to the country. The Samagi Jana Balawegaya has the leadership that can rebuild the economy.
ක්‍රිකට් මැච් එකක ඔබ කැමති ඕවර්ස් 50 මැච් එකක මාලිංග දාන පළවෙනි ඕවර් එකද නැත්නම් ඒ මැච් එකේ
When you're watching an ODI match, do you feel the intensity when Lasith Malinga takes the first over, or when he takes over when Sri Lanka is down to the last over, when the opposing team is in their last run to secure a win? Your participation in politics right now is similar to Malinga bowling the last over. This is the time when the people need to be active in politics. As a group of followers of a leader that saved a country which was under attack by terrorists, I believe we have no reason to feel ashamed to go to the grassroots level.
මම ලබනාත්මෙත් විශ්වාස කරන්නේ.
දැන් මේ රට විනාශ කරපු අපිට කියනවා අපිට රට හදන්න දෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඔයගොල්ලෝ හැම වෙලේම අපේ කකුලේ පදිනවා.
The same people who destroyed the country are saying they are not being allowed to rebuild the country. They are saying we are interfering with them. Will people stand aside and watch a person who destroyed a business or family try to rebuild it? If you want a quality living standard for future generations, you must make sure the leaders you choose live a quality life and work according to some standard, a person in who you can place your trust. The rulers of this country brought the votes of the people through manual objects and fake job applications. People were deceived. Now we are all suffering the consequences of those decisions. I lost many elections in my days. We lost most of the elections. We did not lose, but the country lost. Use your vote wisely.
The Constitutional Council convened at the Parliamentary Complex this morning.
The period of submission of applications for the appointment of members to the independent commissions will end on the 15th of February. Applications for the positions were called for from the 1st of February 2023. The President will appoint members to the commissions including the Human Rights Commission, Judicial Service Commission and Election Commission according to the recommendations of the Constitutional Council.
In more local news, reports of rice plants turning yellow continue to emerge from multiple areas in the country. This is the situation in Mahadiulweva farmlands in Kakirawa.
Farmers from Mahadiulweva in Kakirawa cultivated their rice fields this Maha season with many expectations. They cultivated approximately 150 acres. However, their hopes of a better harvest were dampened by a disease that is turning rice plants yellow. Farmers point out that a majority of their cultivations have fallen victim to this disease.
The All Sri Lanka Agrarian Federation convened a media briefing and made comments regarding the purchasing of paddy at 100 rupees.
All of
a sudden, Ranil says that he will purchase paddy for 100 rupees. He does not even know how much paddy was bought for last year. When it was told that paddy would be bought for 120 rupees, we knew it was a lie. Today, Ranil Wickremesinghe is a liar. These are promises for the sake of the election. As of now, the reaping of the harvest for this season has begun in Vaunia, Trincomalee, Samanture, Ampara and Pothuwil. 50% of the paddy has already been weighed, now at 60 rupees. Ranil Wickremesinghe does not know how farming works in the country. We would like to ask what is the procedure to purchase paddy? Where are the storage facilities? He is lying to the people.
The national organizer of the All Sri Lanka Agrarian Federation says 100 rupees is not a proper price for a kilogram of paddy.
It costs more than 150 rupees to provide a kilo of paddy. The price is 154 rupees. Last season, the government issued the price of a kilogram of nadu rice as 120 rupees, 125 rupees for samba, 130 rupees for kiri samba. But going beyond these prices, the president is saying a kilo is 100 rupees for nadu. Our now is selling samba and kiri samba to India or to Pakistan. It is the farmers who produce them. How did Ranil Wickremesinghe make this decision to set the price of a kilo of rice as 100 rupees? Which price formula did he use? Under which scientific basis? He must reveal the institutions and officials who were involved in making this decision. The government is going to buy 60,000 metric tons of rice for the price of 100 rupees per kilo. What can the farmers get out of the amount? When compared to the entire amount produced domestically, 60,000 metric tons of rice is a small amount. We urge the government that made both the farmer and consumer helpless to stop this game immediately. Potato farmers have been facing difficulties as there is no proper price available for their crops. The potato harvest is currently being reaped in Boralanda, Valimada, and the farmers lament the absence of a proper price has led to serious economic issues. These farmers told Newsfirst that they are unable to cover their costs due to this issue.
Sri Lanka's Minister of Agriculture, Mahinda Amaraweera, said that a proposal to impose a tax on imported potatoes will be presented to the Cabinet of Ministers on Monday. The minister said the decision was made based on the request made by local farmers who claimed there was no proper price mechanism for their crops.
News First with the people.
Taking a look at some tragic news from here at home. A 4-year-old boy had died after falling into an unprotected well in Mahagoda, Karandeniya.
4-year-old Minod Mansana is the only child in the family that hails from Mahagoda. According to a report, he was playing at home on Sunday evening and disappeared. Thereafter, family and neighbors launched a search and discovered his lifeless body inside an unprotected well.
Let's now take a look at more local news in brief.
CCTV cameras recorded the manner in which a man broke into a restaurant in the Mirigama town. The property owner said that the man stole over 200,000 rupees in cash and other goods. A private bus operating from Min area to Hinguragoda met with an accident after the driver suffered a cardiac arrest. The driver was already dead when the bus crashed. The deceased was identified as a 76-year-old man from Min area.
Taking a look at the latest updates coming in from Turkey and Syria. Rescuers have continued to pull out more survivors from the rubble as the death toll from last week's earthquakes topped 33,000. The tremors have killed at least 29,605 people in Turkey as of Monday and more than 3,500 in Syria.
The UN's Emergency Relief Coordinator Martin Griffiths said, quote, "We have failed the people in northwest Syria and they rightly feel abandoned," unquote. His Twitter post continued, "The people of Syria were, quote, looking for international help that hasn't arrived. My duty and our obligation is to correct this failure as fast as we can. That's my focus now," unquote. Turkish authorities have issued more than 100 arrest warrants over collapsed buildings. State media reported that at least 12 people were in custody, including contractors, architects and engineers connected to some of the tens of thousands of buildings destroyed or seriously damaged in Monday's 7.8 and 7.6 magnitude quakes. British donations to the Disasters Emergency Committee, DEC, have topped £60 million in just 3 days. The total amount so far is £60.3 million, including £5 million in UK aid match from the UK government. The German government wants to temporarily ease visa restrictions for survivors of the earthquakes in Turkey and Syria who have close family ties to Germany if they are facing homelessness or were injured. Humanitarian groups working in southern Turkey and northwest Syria warn that Monday's earthquake will have a long tail, a wide range of needs that will require donations for months or even years after the rescue and recovery missions end. Search and rescue operators who were trying to reach survivors in the wreckage in Hatay, Turkey, were buried under rubble after debris fell on his team. His teammates rescued Tugen, who suffered no major injuries.
Gel Yaşar dedem. Dedem bizdesin artık. Gel dur. Gel dedem. Bir saniye.
Finally, in your sports news, a first ever century stand in T20 internationals for Sri Lanka was the highlight in their game against Bangladesh as they picked up their second successive victory in the Women's T20 World Cup.
Batting first, Bangladesh went on a boundary spree to begin proceedings despite losing an early wicket by a run-out. Shamima Sultana hit a couple of boundaries in the first over and Sobana Musari punished Sugandhika Kumari of 3 successive deliveries as Bangladesh raced to 27 for 1 after the first 3 overs.
A break of the partnership at a crucial stage. Up in the air and a little bit of confusion, nearly a collision, and Alshadi Ranasinghe does very well to hold on to that.
Chasing 127, Sri Lanka lost their talismanic skipper Chamari Atapattu, even though she picked up 3 boundaries and looked in good nick once again. Marufa Akhtar, who dismissed Chamari, managed to then dismiss Vishmi Gunaratne and Anushka Sanjivani of successive deliveries. Sri Lanka were in doldrums at 27 for 3 after the power play and desperately needed a partnership to redeem themselves.
Some clever shots, a wonderful knock at a time when and her first in T20 World Cups. I don't even think she knew. What a fantastic innings.
Sri Lanka overcame a slight stutter to register a 7-wicket win at Newlands against Bangladesh thanks to Harshita Samaravikrama and Nilakshi Silva's unbeaten 104-run partnership.
That's it! Sri Lanka win here at Newlands for the second time in 3 days. Their 7th consecutive win against Bangladesh in T20 internationals. And what a moment for them. Young stars standing up when it matters. Well, these pictures are what the World Cup is about.
And that brings us to the end of this edition of Lunchtime News here on TV1. For the News First team, I've been Sanita Senanayake. Take care and stay safe.
At the KTN, that's the ready. Cyber අවකාශයේ කලබන වුවත් සලකුණ News First YouTube channel අදම subscribe කරන්න. News First ජනතාව සමග.
News First News Alert ඔබේ ජංගම දුරකථනයටත් ඔබ ඩයලොග් පාරිභෝගිකයෙක් නම් English Alert සේවාව ලබා ගැනීමට NFU ලෙසත් Singlish Alert සේවාව ලබා ගැනීමට NUS ලෙසත් Tanglish Alert සේවාව ලබා ගැනීමට NAT ලෙසත් ටයිප් කර IC 78ට send කරන්න.